Hey everyone, it's Forrest here with some post-run commentary about the Mario Circuit run and the 64 out of 64 Titan quest. So you might be wondering what I was feeling when I was running this time. And as you saw before the run, the time to beat was 133.500. So the splits I was going for would be something like 30.5, then 31.5, and then 31.5 again lap 3. So when I finished this lap 1 here, I'm at 30.317, and I'm feeling pretty good about this run because I have like about this 180 millisecond margin of error that got added on here. But it quickly goes away here after I do this left mini turbo because you're supposed to take this right turn very tightly, but my line wasn't allowing it, and I ended up taking it a lot wider than I wanted to. So when I finished the lap here, instead of getting like a 31.5 as I had budgeted for, you see I end up getting this 31.812. And because I'm not like doing all of the mental math after 2 laps, like I still have to focus on finishing the run, I didn't believe that I even had a run then, because like getting a 31.8 was hard to overcome if I wanted like 133.4. So what happened here is that I close out the run because I thought I could still get a personal record, get a bit closer to the Titan standard. And after taking the good tight line on that last turn here, I see this 31.362, and I'm not sure if I've got it. And you see, right after I get to this, I think I jumped out of my seat to go and celebrate. Write that down, like update my whiteboard for my Titan tracking. So that was a really good way to finish the quest. Unrelated, but hopefully Jets win Game 5 tonight. But here's some other post-run commentary that I wanted to do. I wanted to start by thanking the MKDS community in general for giving me the motivation, giving me the praise when I publicly posted some of my achieved Titan standards, and also a bit of recommendations on some tracks like LC1. And for specific members, I'd like to start off by thanking the veterans of the community, TB1 and Husky217, because I didn't personally interact with them, but they were both great inspirations, because these are both players who played more in like the 2000s than the 2010s or the 2020s, but they both demonstrated that the love of the game is undying in some cases. Like TB1 still showed up at this speedrunning event in 2024. Husky decided to come back when the Waluigi pinball shortcut was discovered, and he achieved this new time with it. So it goes to show that the passion for the game, even if you stop playing and you think you've achieved all the goals you want to, once in a while something will motivate you to come back and at least be a good ambassador to the community. So I'd like to thank them for showing their, well, maybe not lifelong, but their long-standing passion of the game. And for specific members who helped me in my quest, getting this Titan scoreboard, this is the aforementioned whiteboard. I'd like to thank first Abel, because he streams a lot, and he used to stream a lot of 32 tracks in previous months. And what he did was that he plays at a high level, and his lines that I was watching in some of his runs helped me run some of my Egg 1 Titan times. I'd also like to thank Dr. Mario here for motivation, pushing a message about improving yourself. He made this video in 2024 it's no longer accessible now, but in it he argued that the game wasn't about just getting records, it was about your love for the game, and I think if you take that perspective, it becomes a lot more fun to compete for getting 64 out of 64 of a particular standard, because for a while you're focusing not just on beating the competition, that usually people reach a ceiling, they can't beat many people anymore, or they can't improve that much, but a lot of people, like, they should still try to like grind for 64 hero or 64 Titan, whatever is your goal. And the message about just pushing your love for the game and like following the passion, I think that it's really good for these kinds of goals. And I'd also like to thank Astrid for making this neat presentation of getting 64 out of 64 myth times, which is better than Titan. So she made this cool video that involved good editing, good music, and good tension on the last run she showed on DK Pass, which is another track that's pretty difficult standard-wise. But she showed that you could make this good presentation, like, for achieving standards that weren't always God standards. Like, my first inspiration for getting 64 out of 64 of any standard was this collaboration made by Puddings and MKDS 1992 that detailed Stefan Meyer's journey to get 64 out of 64 gods. And I think making such presentations for other standards can still be a good thing. It could be a good way of documenting your own accomplishments. And I know I said it wasn't always about beating the other guys, but I'd also like to thank two particular members that competed with me during my quest for 64 Titans. On the left here you have Axel, who joined us pretty recently and is one of the fastest improving members of the community I've seen. And he was also going for 64 Titans and ended up achieving it less than 1 day later if you go by the time zone where I live. If you go by the time zone where he lives, he actually achieved it on the same day. So it was a very close race. And Sir Lamsalot, I'd like to thank him as well, because he was also racing with me to get 64 out of 64 Titans. He stalled out at 48 because his parents confiscated his DS, which, I mean, that's really a way that sucks. I don't want to take over the race for those reasons. Like, that's a bit beyond his control, but I'd still like to thank him for being a hard competitor throughout this whole grind. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this run inspires you to go out and achieve your goals in any game that you play. And I think that's it. I don't think I'll be going for 64 out of 64 myths. I will try to get more myths down the road when possible. But it's been a very good journey, and I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.